ready to ditch that debt and build a real plan for financial freedom.
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. We've got excerpts from the debt-free spending plan right here, and I'm excited to kind of dig into this with ya and see what gems we can unearth.
Yeah.
This is all about building that debt-free spending plan, right?
Yeah. That's the core of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and one thing that's really interesting is how this book really tackles the emotional side of debt.
Yeah.
Not just like the numbers.
Yeah, I've definitely felt that drag on my heart the book talks about. Sometimes debt feels like this guilt-making machine,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the author really nails how that can like weigh us down emotionally, and they kind of link it to how our culture views credit so differently now. Like imagine telling your grandparents you're buying a TV on credit.
Right.
They'd probably have a fit.
Seriously, it's become so normal to buy things we can't afford right now. And those priceless credit card commercials don't help either, do they?
Right.
It's like they're pushing us to overspend.
Yeah. It's almost like we've been handed this powerful tool, credit, but without the instruction manual on responsible use.
Okay, so enough doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Let's get to the solution.
Yeah.
This debt-free spending plan, or DFSP, it's not about living like a monk. Right. I saw that it includes fun money, so I'm intrigued.
Exactly. It's about being intentional, not deprived. You map out your spending before the month even starts. So bills, daily needs, and yes, even those wants.
Okay.
Like vacations or hobbies or whatever.
So it's like giving yourself permission to enjoy life, but within a structured plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I can get behind that. But what's this I read about saving while you're in debt?
Right.
That seems counterintuitive.
It is, and the book tackles that head on.
Okay.
The idea is even small savings, it builds momentum. So say you put aside $10 a month, it's less about that amount and more about shifting your mindset from scarcity to, hey, I can save.
Yeah. I can see how that could be empowering.
Yeah.
Like proving to yourself you're capable of taking control.
Exactly. And they give you these cool tools to make it happen.
Yeah.
Like this magic little notebook. Super simple, yet effective. Just jot down every expense throughout the day.
No fancy app needed. I like that.
Right?
They even had an example where someone covered a dry cleaning overage from their household category using this.
Yeah.
Super practical.
It pairs perfectly with the tracking record. At the end of the month, you see exactly where your money went. No more guessing. You have hard data to adjust your plan for the next month.
So it's about constant refinement, getting better each month.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And then there's the bill paying plan, especially helpful if you're paid biweekly.
Okay.
It's about strategizing when you pay what. Like that example of paying rent a couple of days late because of how your paycheck landed.
Oh yeah.
That takes the stress out of bill paying for sure. You're not scrambling last minute. You've got it all mapped out.
And less stress means more mental space to focus on other things, right?
Right.
The book then stresses building a healthy reserve.
Like
Even while you're in debt. It's your emergency fund, but it's also about empowerment. They have this anecdote about a sales director who negotiated a raise because he had that reserve.
Oh, wow.
He could walk away from a bad offer.
Oh, wow. I hadn't thought about it like that. It's
Yeah.
like financial security gives you the confidence to make bold moves in other areas of life too.
Absolutely. And then to further boost that sense of control, the book suggests multiple savings accounts.
Okay.
One for car repairs, one for vacation, etc. Make saving feel more tangible when you see each goal's progress.
I get that. It's like those separate jars people use for cash.
Yeah.
But this is for your bigger goals, the stuff that takes time to save for.
Right. And finally, there's this 3 contrasting quotes rule. Sounds simple, but it's gold. Before any big purchase or event, get 3 quotes. You know that wedding the book mentioned?
Oh, yeah.
The couple paid for the whole thing using this strategy.
See, mindful spending can be fun too.
Exactly.
You're not just pinching pennies, you're getting the most bang for your buck.
Got it.
Literally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about making your money work for you, not the other way around.
Okay, so we've covered planning and saving and even snagging deals with those 3 quotes, but let's be real, a lot of us listening are probably dealing with existing debt.
Right.
How does this book tackle that monster?
It acknowledges that debt can feel overwhelming, like an octopus with all those arms grabbing at you.
Yeah.
But instead of panicking, it suggests kind of this focused approach.
Okay.
Knocking out those debts one by one.
So not trying to juggle everything at once.
Right.
Which can feel impossible. What did they call it? Easy does it, payback plans?
Easy does it, exactly. The key is consistency.
Okay.
Even if you're starting small. So say you owe 5 different creditors. Even paying like $5 extra to each one, per month, it can make a difference.
Okay.
The book even mentioned the author doing this and getting positive responses from like the creditors. It's about showing you're serious about repayment.
That gives me hope, because sometimes I get paralyzed by the total amount I owe.
Yeah.
Like I'll never dig myself out. But if it's about those small wins, building momentum,
right,
that feels manageable.
That's the spirit. And what about credit scores?
Yeah.
A lot of people worry about that.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Is this plan going to wreck my credit in the long run?
Well, the book addresses that directly.
Okay.
It's about shifting your focus to long-term financial health.
Okay.
Not just a quick credit score fix.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's like playing the long game, right?
Exactly.
Making responsible choices consistently, even if there's a temporary dip in the score.
Right. And and it's not just about individual choices. It's also about relationships. Money can be such a touchy subject, especially with loved ones.
Oh, tell me about it. I've definitely had awkward conversations about finances. The book mentioned money amends.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
It's about owning up to past non-payment, apologizing, and coming up with a clear repayment plan. So not just throwing money at the problem, but acknowledging the emotional impact that your debt has had on the other person.
That takes courage for sure.
Yeah.
But I can see how it could be a huge relief.
Yeah.
To finally address the elephant in the room,
right,
so to speak.
Right. And then for couples, the book suggests separate spending plans.
Oh, okay.
Which isn't about control. It's about each person taking responsibility for their spending and contributing equally to shared goals.
So it's like teamwork.
Exactly. Yes.
Working together towards that debt-free life.
Yeah.
I love that. But let's get real. Cutting spending can be tough.
It is, yeah.
How does the book frame that part?
Well, it's not about deprivation.
Okay.
It's about challenging that sense of entitlement we often have.
Okay.
Do I really need that thing, or do I just want it?
Right.
It's about making conscious choices.
I think that's where those aha moments come in, right?
Yeah.
Like when you realize you've been mindlessly spending on things that don't actually matter that much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the book gets specific. It outlines areas where we often overspend without realizing it. So let's take organic food, for example.
Ooh, I struggle with this one.
Yeah.
I want to eat healthy, but organic can be so expensive.
It can be, yeah.
What are some of the alternatives that the book suggests?
Well, they talk about prioritizing like the cleanest produce, meaning focusing on the fruits and veggies that are most likely to be contaminated with pesticides.
Oh, okay.
If bought conventionally.
Okay.
Or using services like farm-to-you boxes.
Yeah.
Which can be more affordable than shopping at a specialty grocery store.
Those are great ideas. It's about finding that balance between your values and your budget.
Yeah.
You don't have to sacrifice healthy eating. Just be smarter about it. What about bulk buying?
Yeah.
I usually think that saves money.
Yeah.
But the book seemed cautious about it.
Right. The danger there is that bulk mindset leading to hoarding.
Yeah.
Especially if you're prone to overspending already, a giant bag of chips might not be the best idea.
I've totally been there. Suddenly I have a year's supply of pretzels because they were on sale.
It's about being honest with yourself about how much you'll actually use.
Okay.
Prepared food is another area they call out.
Ugh, yeah. Convenience comes at a price.
It does.
But as a busy person, sometimes it feels like the only option.
I get that.
Yeah.
And the book isn't saying never eat out or anything.
Okay, no.
But they encourage kind of building cooking at home into your routine.
Okay.
Even if it's just a couple nights a week.
Yeah.
That adds up over time.
Plus you're in control of the ingredients, so it can be healthier too.
Exactly.
What about coffee?
Oh yeah.
I know a lot of people spend a fortune on those daily lattes.
Big time. Yeah. It's a budget buster for sure.
Yeah.
The book suggests setting like a realistic monthly allowance.
Okay.
Okay, I can have 2 fancy coffees a week.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Or finding cheaper alternatives.
Yeah.
Like brewing at home or exploring local coffee shops with better prices.
I've actually started making my own iced coffee at home, and it's surprisingly easy.
Yeah.
Plus, I get to feel like a barista. What about beauty products? Those can add up too, especially for us ladies.
Right. The book challenges that idea that you have to spend a fortune to look good.
Right.
You know, drugstore brands have come a long way, and there's tons of online retailers with great deals.
Right.
It's about experimenting and finding what works for you.
Yeah.
Without breaking the bank.
I love that. It's about being resourceful.
Yeah.
Not restricting yourself.
Right.
What other areas did the book cover?
Well, vitamins for one.
Right.
Buying online in bulk or at discount stores can save you a bundle.
That's a good reminder. I always forget about those online options.
Yeah, yeah. And then there's gym memberships.
Oh, yeah.
The book suggests finding a cheaper alternative. Maybe a local community center or even just working out at home.
Yeah.
They even talk about the author getting a scholarship at the YMCA.
Oh, wow.
There are ways to stay fit without the hefty price tag.
It's about getting creative, right?
Yeah.
Not letting cost be a barrier to taking care of yourself.
Exactly.
What about our tech obsession?
Oh yeah.
I feel like I'm always tempted to upgrade my phone.
Yeah.
Even when the old one works perfectly fine.
Right. The book encourages us to resist that got to have the latest gadget mentality.
Yeah.
If your current phone is functional, keep it.
Yeah.
It's about prioritizing financial stability over fleeting trends.
It's so easy to get caught up in that cycle of consumerism.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's liberating to realize you don't need the newest everything.
Right.
What about entertainment?
Yeah.
Cable can be a huge expense.
It can be. Yeah. And the book doesn't mince words on that one.
Okay.
They suggest taking advantage of free streaming services or even dusting off those library cards and borrowing DVDs.
Rawr.
Again, it's about being willing to make temporary sacrifices to achieve long-term goals.
It's not about cutting out entertainment completely, but being mindful about how much you're spending on it.
Exactly.
I like that. What about car insurance?
Yeah.
That's another one of those bills that always seems to creep up.
It does. The book stresses comparing prices regularly.
Okay.
And making sure you're getting all applicable discounts. Sometimes a little research can save you hundreds of dollars a year.
It's worth the effort for sure. What about medications?
Yeah.
I know those can be a major expense for people.
Yeah. The book encourages opting for generic versions whenever possible.
Okay.
They often have the same active ingredients as the name brand meds, but at a fraction of the cost.
It's amazing how many areas we can find savings if we're willing to look closely. It's like a game finding those hidden gems of frugality.
Exactly. It's about shifting our mindset from I can't afford it to how can I make it work?
Yeah.
It's empowering to take control like that.
This has been a deep dive into some seriously practical strategies, but I'm curious about the bigger picture.
Yeah.
How does the book tie all this together?
Great question. The book talks about this big shift.
Okay.
Where it's not just about the tactics. It's about changing your whole relationship with money.
I'm intrigued. Let's unpack that big shift and see how it can lead to lasting financial freedom. Okay, so we've talked about this big shift that the book keeps mentioning. It's more than just the individual strategies, right? It's a whole new way of thinking about money.
Yeah, exactly. It's about moving from that mindset of like scarcity and fear to one of abundance and empowerment.
Okay.
It's about taking control and creating the financial reality that you desire, rather than letting debt control you.
I feel like we've already kind of touched on that a little bit throughout this deep dive. Like just having that healthy reserve already makes you feel more confident and secure.
Absolutely. And the DFSP, the debt-free spending plan, is really the framework for making this big shift happen.
Okay.
It's about living intentionally, making choices that align with your values and experiencing the freedom that comes from financial stability.
The book actually walks the talk too, right? The author shares their personal story of going from deep in debt to achieving financial freedom.
Yeah, it's a powerful testament to how this approach can work in real life.
Yeah.
And it's super inspiring, especially for those who might be, feeling overwhelmed by their own debt.
For sure. It's like, if they can do it, maybe I can too.
Yeah.
But it's not about being perfect, right? The book emphasized progress over perfection.
Exactly.
Those small steps adding up over time.
It's about building those sustainable habits.
Right.
One choice at a time. And it's not about deprivation or penny pinching.
Yeah.
It's about finding that balance.
Yeah.
Enjoying life while still making responsible financial choices.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of information here.
We have.
From the emotional side of debt to practical strategies for planning and saving, even tackling those tough conversations about money with loved ones. If there's one thing you want listeners to take away from this whole deep dive, what would it be?
I would say financial freedom is within reach for everyone, no matter where you are in your journey right now.
Okay.
The DFSP gives you that practical roadmap, that framework for managing your money and achieving your goals. It's about taking control, being intentional, and ultimately creating a life of abundance and empowerment.
I love that. It's not just about the numbers. It's about that feeling of freedom,
right,
and control that comes with being financially secure.
Exactly. And it all starts with taking action, even if it's, a small step. What's one spending habit you can commit to changing this week? Maybe it's brewing your coffee at home instead of hitting that drive-through, or finally tracking your spending for a month.
Yeah, those small changes can have a ripple effect, right?
They do.
They build momentum and create those positive shifts in your mindset and your habits. And we've only scratched the surface here. The book also dives into using technology for tracking finances and dealing with those unexpected expenses that always seem to pop up, and even the envelope stash method for saving.
Right. There's so many more tools and strategies you can explore as you continue on your journey.
Right.
And the great thing is the book provides that foundation.
Yeah.
That framework for understanding how it all fits together.
It's like you said earlier, financial freedom is a journey.
It is.
Not a destination.
Exactly.
We've given you a taste of what's possible, and now it's up to you to take those next steps.
Yeah.
And create your own success story.
Absolutely. And remember, it's not just about the money. It's about the peace of mind, the freedom, the empowerment that come with taking control of your finances.
This has been such an insightful deep dive. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise and helping us unpack all this valuable information.
It's been my pleasure. And to everyone listening, remember, every journey starts with a single step.
Yeah.
Take that step today and start building the financial future you deserve.
We'll be back next week with another deep dive into a topic you're passionate about.
Sounds good.
Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.